Discuss the new rules and the state of play with a House Republican who sits on the Rules Committee and is also a physician. Now, look, last time I had Burgess on, I've had him a couple of times on. Some of you say, why? I'll tell you why. Because Burgess is a doctor. I respect him. I respect his service. He was early on the truth of see COVID for what it is. He made multiple motions on the basis of it. He made motions to push the FDA for a faster approval process. All right, so don't lump everybody in together, all right? Doctor, thank you for being back on the show.
Hey, Chris, I asked myself the same question. Why am I back on your show? But look, it's important to get the message out there. This is a disease that has evolved significantly. It is a bad disease. The Delta variant is real, and it is hurting people. The good news is, if you've had either the Moderna or the Pfizer vaccine, maybe the J&J plus a booster shot, you are well protected against serious illness and death from the Delta variant. And I think that's the message that people need to hear tonight. The choice is yours, to be sure. I'm not a fan of mandates. I think mandates drive oppositional behavior. We certainly saw that in Texas when the governor mandated the HPV vaccine, and there was a lot of resistance to it. And to this day, I don't think there's been the uptake that there should have been. But look, educate yourself. And here's the other place where you and I agree. If you haven't had the vaccine yet, go talk to your doctor. The vaccines are available in doctors' offices now. Some of the cold storage requirements have been relaxed, so your doctor can have it on board, have it available. Call first to make sure it's available, or even just go in to schedule the appointment to have the discussion. And then after the discussion, then you can decide whether or not you want to take the vaccine. The private companies can, as a condition of employment, can certainly require the vaccine, and I respect that. I do think it's strange that, and this was testimony last May, that Dr. Fauci at NIH and Dr. Marks at the FDA and the head of the CDC said only 50 to 60% of their employees were vaccinated, and that was late May. So that's concerning to me, and I've asked questions as to what they've done to follow up on that. I'm not getting any answers. I've had a call into the CDC for over a week to talk about just the very thing you talked about. What is this breakthrough data? What is, are people being tested for some other reason and then found to be positive? Or are they in fact symptomatic, which is what leads them to testing? At this point, I cannot tell you. I don't know what the answer is there. But I also know this, the Delta variant is bad. Serious complications do seem to be reliably prevented by taking one of the vaccines and following the advice of your doctor. So I think I told you we ended last time, don't get your healthcare advice from a cable news show. Talk to your doctor.
Right. But look, at the same time, you know what I said the last time, which is you're an elected representative, you're a physician, you know what you're talking about. We need your voice right now. I'm not telling you to pretend you're everybody's doctor. But look, when you have someone like Chip Roy stand up, and again, I've had him on the show, he's welcome on the show. He's from your state, he's in Congress, he stands up, he goes, well, what is it? Is it the mask or is it the vaccine? You know that is an asinine thing to say. You know that the guidance is simple.
Look, I didn't hear.
Well, so he stood up and he said, "Well, what is it?"
He is correct, and this has concerned me for some time. The spread of the virus, even before all of this started, the spread of the virus in places like the Lower Rio Grande Valley, in El Paso, up in West Texas, it has been extremely concerning. And is it, in fact, coming across the border? That, of course, was the concern of the Trump administration, why they instituted the Title 42 restrictions
but look,
and the Remain in Mexico policy.
Look, we know it's a little bit of a boogeyman issue. We know there are cases all over the place. It doesn't have to be the migrants. And you know that part of the protocols is that they test, but it's screwed up just like everything else is screwed up in our immigration system that never gets fixed. I don't see that as...
I've advocated that we should provide the vaccines. Now that vaccines are generally available for American citizens in our population, it's time, and you've got the single-shot J&J vaccine. I think that should be administered upon entry.
Fine, but I'm saying you have much bigger problems than people coming through our immigration system.
And 20,000 people last month. Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal in Texas.
I understand, but you have a third of the population that hasn't taken the vaccine yet, doctor. All right,
I don't think that number is correct. Look, and here's the thing on the mask mandate.
Wait a minute. Why don't you think that number's correct? That's the number we're being given by the government.
No, look, I can't argue that point, but
Well, you just said you don't believe it. Why?
Well, I don't, because in the area that I represent, with the big vaccine hub that they stood up at Texas Motor Speedway, and the county folks, FEMA was in there, the National Guard. We vaccinated a ton of people in Denton County, Texas, a historically very vaccine-hesitant part of the world.
Look, that's good.
I remember I was in practice in the 1980s. People didn't take measles vaccines.
Right, but that's good. It's empirical, but it doesn't let you understand whether or not to question the overall number. Call the CDC, see what their basis for it is. We haven't had anybody else.
The CDC won't talk to me.
Well, listen.
I'd love to talk to the CDC. Get them on the phone. Let's have a discussion.
I'll call them right after this, and I'll see what I can do, because I think you should be in the loop on this. But my point about Chip was this, Roy, and I'll speak to him directly if he'll come on the show, especially from your party, because these people listen to you, okay? They listen to you in a way that they won't listen to the media. They won't listen to people from the Democratic Party, but they'll listen to you. And him saying, well, what is it? Do vaccines work or not? We know they work. The data proves they work. And him suggesting something like that is fueling hesitancy, and we don't need it. Will you say on this show that, yes, on the left, but they're already doing it, and on the right, you don't need to balance the suggestion to get the vaccine, go talk to your doctor with, but remember, you don't have to take it. Is it time for the people in your party to say, talk to your doctor, get the vaccine if you can?
Sure. But look, and I told you at the outset of this, I'm not a big fan of mandates. I do think mandates drive oppositional behavior. I saw that at the ground level when Governor Perry mandated the HPV vaccine for schoolgirls in Texas.
But what do you do when you have the oppositional behavior already? What are we supposed to do right now?
Look, I've told you this before. The area that I represent, and I've long understood this from when I was in practice, there's a segment of the population that just is not going to take a vaccine. I can't make them take it. But what I can do is vaccinate myself and my family. And guess what? If they get sick, they're not going to bother me.
Well, but we got to take care of them because they're our brothers and sisters, and that's why we got to find a better way.
Absolutely.
Congressman Michael Burgess, I hope you don't really regret coming on the show that often. It's important.
Just a simple country doctor trying to do the Lord's work.
Well, listen, as we all know, what the Lord says is the love of me is the love of truth. So keep telling people what they need to do, and don't play into these suggestions of some of the other people in your party. It's not helping. But I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
But don't be divisive. My advice to you is let's bring people together. Let's not divide them. We've had enough division.
Hey, doctor, I want nothing more. That's why you're on my show tonight. Be well.
All right, good deal. Thank you.
All right.